Hello, everyone. This is the package group weekly sync of the 11th of the 11th, which is Veterans Day in the United States. Just wanted to mention that and carry on. We have kicking off, and I didn't even put my name down on this, I'm sorry. Yeah, kicking off, we have metrics, new dashboards that I shared. I also shared them in the channel, but those new dashboards, people should be able to take a look at those. If anyone has any questions or they seem like they're off, please let me know. They're all based on Periscope now, as opposed to being the quality dashboard or whatever, which was in the app. But definitely what I'll be using to sort of report my numbers as far as our MRs per engineer per month and all that sort of thing. So please take a look at those when you get a second. Next point is the Udemy course that someone put together for GitLab CI/CD. I just mentioned it. We already mentioned it. I think other people have already looked at it, but I just put it in here when I saw it come up, just in case people wanted to keep an eye on it. And then experience factor worksheets are coming up by the 22nd, which means all the people that are actually have me as their manager in Bamboo need to schedule time to chat about this. And so that's Steve, Gigi, David, and Haley. The conversation for Steve and Gigi, I believe Haley and I've had some updates to this, but I believe Haley and David, I won't be reporting that number back into Bamboo, but we should go through the process anyway, just so you know what it looks like. So if you haven't scheduled those that time already, please do. My job is to get those completed by the 22nd and then hand them off to Darby, who's going to review them to make sure that there's nothing odd about the numbers we've come up with. Next one is Alex actually put this issue out, created it for help with a dependency proxy. I just wanted people to take a look at that and see if we can give him a hand at all without just asking DZ to do it. I think we will, like Tim, I think you suggested, I think we'll need DZ to do a fair bit of that probably, as he's written most of the code, but I'm just wondering if we could just take a look at it. So if people could go check that out, that would be good value. And then this particular one is registry permissions. The last one, I should have put more details there, sorry. I had to click on it myself. Looks like there's a duplicate of something else we're working on. Tim, do you want to verbalize the comment there?
Yeah, Jason opened up a change to extend CI token permissions for the container registry. And so a lot of these issues can be closed as duplicates, but not necessarily all of them. There are some subtle differences. So it's on my list to go through this week and close the duplicates, and I have to expand on another issue that was a request from a customer.
Yeah, awesome, thank you. Thanks for that. I'll leave it alone. I just saw it come up. I wanted to make sure we had it, and I expected that you would because you're good at that stuff. So
yeah, it's on my radar. Thank you.
Cool. And then the next one, and I'm sorry, I tend to dominate the start here because I put these in all the way through the week when something comes up that I want to make sure I'm sharing with everyone. So that's why it's like it's the Dan show at the start of this, but for no other reason. The group page, there's some updates in the MR on 0.6. It was mostly me trying to document the various conversations that Tim and I had around the workflow we'd like to implement. Tim has some questions up there for me, so it seems like we've got a little bit of a conversation to have, but this is something that I'm happy for everyone to contribute to. If there are question marks about what that is describing, 100% please put questions up there and I can address them, correct the thing, make it better. But it's mostly just to get that process down. And this is the intention to follow. We're intending to follow this process for 12.6. So comments would be really helpful. And over to Nico.
Sorry, I lost the mouse. Okay, so I've made an issue about extending the project and group package API. And since now the blocking MR is merged and we have a wait for this. Do we know if we will stretch it in 12.5, yes or no? And the question why I'm asking is because it may change what I focus on during this week. And the other thing is that due to being ping-ponged by maintainer more and more, I was thinking to leverage our API and add to the Chrome extension a feature that says maintainer A is assigned to 10 MRs, maintainer B is assigned to 5, maintainer C is assigned to 3. Maybe I'm going to ask maintainer C to do my maintainer review. So if this is something that can be interesting, I may allocate some of my free time to that. But I wanted to know their opinion about it. Maybe it's not good to have another way to float maintainers. And over to Tim.
Sorry, just had to unmute. Yeah, just a quick update. So the release post goes out on, I think, the 17th or 18th, but the items are due from me today. They get sent over to marketing and to technical writing. So I'm just sharing here that work is being done. I wrote a few of them. There's a few more that have to be written. If I'm trying to just CC the developers, so if you worked on it, just to make sure that there's nothing that I'm saying is incorrect or looks crazy. So if you worked on any of the ones that are written, you could feel free to click through. If you worked on some of them that aren't written yet, I'll make sure I CC you and get some feedback as well. And if there are no questions about that, on to David.
Yes, thank you. So I've been working on this merge request, which is a community merge request, I guess, which is the support of these tags on NPM. And it might not be ready for 12.5. There is several things to do on the DB side. And actually, I guess we will still need a review from the DB side and a review from the maintainer. So 1 week for that might be short. I've been helping as I could, but the review time might take more than a small merge request. The other point is I made a small investigation on the NuGet package manager, so you can check you can check my comment, and I guess we will have to discuss about it on the architecture forum this week, so you can read that before. That would be perfect. To answer the question from Dan, yes, I guess it has been reviewed from the DB side, but the thing is that even last Friday I've been chatting with Sarah and doing some still DB migration fixes. So it's a bit weird that a review from the DB side has been done and we are still working on migrations and the schema file. And I guess we will still another review for that.
What can we do to accelerate this? What do you think the best approach is here?
Yeah, so I didn't want to put some pressure on Sarah or feel that I'm stealing the merge request. I've been implementing one of the difficult points she had, which is the bulk inserts. So that has been implemented. But ideally, we should be like putting the merge request to review tomorrow or in 2 days. Otherwise, we will not have enough time to get the review and do the whole cycle.
So yeah, so the thing with this particular effort is that Tim's called out that we need this merged. We need this done as soon as we possibly can. The
Yep.
customer's waiting on this a long time. So what I was hoping was that we could figure out a way to make that happen. I've already spoken with Sarah about one of us being more actively involved to the extent of completely taking it over. And I think, I don't want to speak for you, Tim, but I believe this is a really pretty high priority item now. So I wouldn't worry too much about stepping on Sarah's toes. Sarah's been awesome. We really appreciate the work she's done here, but this is becoming problematic for a customer. So multiple customers, perhaps. Sorry, again, Tim, I don't want to speak for you. So whatever you need to do to get it done, and that doesn't mean being like working out of hours and stuff like that. Please don't take it to that, but get it done. And that if that means taking it over, take it over. If that means pushing it, push it. I don't want to put too much pressure on you because I know you're still learning. I know Steve could be, anyone on the team can help in whatever way. I'm sure they will. And if it's just not going to happen, it's also okay. But yeah, it's top priority as far as I'm concerned. Does that help explain the situation a bit better?
Yeah. And actually, Sarah did a great job on the description because they had like a lot of discussions and open points. And she mentioned only 3 points that still need to be implemented. One of them was the bulk insert that I took care of today. So 2 points are remaining. So I guess I will check with her if I can help with these 2 points. But we have still some issues on the DB side. So that's why I'm a bit not afraid, but concerned about the review time.
Yeah, and rightly you should be, and I really appreciate you sharing that with us. And excuse me, sorry. This is like really, this has become, like I said before, become really important. I would say it's a high priority than anything else you're working on. I don't know, Tim, you can sort of call that out as being not the case. I think the priority order sort of in some ways has changed over the course of this milestone as this has become sort of longer and longer. And so, like I said, whatever help you want to offer would be awesome. And then stepping in completely and just taking it over is fine. We talked about this with Sarah as long as like 3 weeks ago, I think, the idea that one of us might need to step in because she can't allocate her time to it because she has a whole other job and she's been doing it in her spare time. And so we felt really uncomfortable trying to take that off her because of the amount of effort that she's put into it. And it's been really like something we don't want to do either. So which is why we've waited as long as we feel like we could. But again, Sarah's done an awesome job working through what she has. There's been a lot of back and forward. I've been following the MRs to try to make sure I understand where it's at to the best of my ability. And so, yeah, that's. I'm gonna leave it at that. If you want to chat a bit further about it, I'm sure if you put something in the package channel, we can all talk about it a bit more as well. Cool. And then I think that was the end of the points we have after the NuGet. The NuGet, did you add that to the architecture forum or one of the other forums, Tim? David, sorry?
Yes, I added it to the architecture forum agenda, so we can talk about it.
Great, thank you. And I'm sure Tim will want to take a look if he hasn't already. And just to see what that's at, and Ian as well. So one of the things we want to do is, wait, I'll leave that off. It's not on the agenda. We can talk about that later. History. Anyone want to talk about any of the items we did have on here?
Would anybody object if I added a quick item?
No, go ahead. I'm hoping it's the one I was thinking of.
In reference to Dan's chuckling, I just wanted to call out to everyone, and this is something we had talked about before. Anytime the experience gets engaged for our end users, I really would like to be included. So this includes not just the UI, which is kind of where UXers are known for being, but also the CLI and the APIs, just because the experience we have for our users is in those different environments, so it should be taken care of. So if it impacts the user, please reach out to me and include me, even if it's just hey, I'm doing this thing, I'll approve it, so to speak. But just to make sure we're having those conversations whenever users get involved would be really helpful.
Perfect. Nailed it. Thank you, Ian. No more mystery. Mystery is gone. This is 100% like Ian is our expert as far as product design. And so if Ian has concerns about a solution that we're implementing that impacts our users, then you should really be making sure you're checking with our expert because Ian's the person with the knowledge there. So the alteration here is that previously it had been well integrated in the front end, and I think based on our retros, I'm seeing a heap of really positive feedback around the way the front end team is working with Ian and proactively getting together and making sure there are no questions. What's valuable there is that there's with visual elements and actual interaction, like front end wise, it's very clear that the UX person should be involved, the product designer. With the back end side, I think it's important, as Ian called out, to say that an API response and a CLI, those things both have user interaction as well. So let's make sure that if we have question marks about it, that we've made sure that Ian's seen it and is clear that it's a viable thing for our users. Does anyone have any questions about that? Nope. Cool. I think we're good. Yeah, I can take care of that, Nico. Thank you. All right. Well, I think if we've got through, we don't have anything else to talk about. I'm going to end the recording. If peeps want to head out, if can't talk, sorry. If peeps want to hang around for a little bit and have a random chat, that would be cool too. But if not, everyone has a great rest of their day, and see ya.